afternoon, everyone. It's giving me an immense pleasure to welcome you all for this week 5 Advanced Technology Stream 33rd day of this National Webinar Marathon organized by Department of Computer Applications, Dwarkadas Govardhandas Vaishnav College. At this moment, I welcome our beloved Secretary, Sri Ashok Kumar Mutraji, our Principal, Dr. S. Santosh Babu sir, our Supportive Head, Dr. T. Velmurugan sir, our Resource Person, Dr. S. Jayachandran, and our participants to this webinar. Now I call upon Ms. Karunya ma'am to deliver a brief introduction about our resource person. Thank you.
Thank you, Archana ma'am. Welcome to one and all present here. And I welcome Dr. S. Jayachandran sir, who is a resource person of our today webinar marathon. He is an assistant professor from SRM University, Ramapuram-Campus. And he got 10 years of working experience as assistant professor in International Maritime Academy, Puducherthiram. And he got 1 year as .NET trainer experience in Aptech Computer Training Institute, Thiruvallur, where he have presented more number of papers in international conference and national conference. And he published more number of papers in Scopus and UGC journals. He have attended 10 plus seminars and workshops. In the social life experience, he is actively involved in development activities and organizing various social events in and around local society. During social work for poor and round.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Sir, now we hand over the session to you, sir. The session is yours, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for giving the opportunity to take this webinar. So I thank to organizers and especially I thanks to Dr. Velmurugan sir, because already I know very well about Velmurugan sir. He is my external examiner for Ph.D. So I know very well, sir. Okay. So shall I start the session, ma'am, directly?
Yes, sir. You can start, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, screen slideshow is visible. No issues, ma'am. Full slideshow. Ma'am, full slideshow is visible.
Yeah, yes, sir. You can give.
Ma'am, full slideshow is visible, ma'am.
Sir, slideshow is not visible.
Okay, ma'am. 1 second, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
Ma'am, now, ma'am. Okay.
Sir, now it's visible, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay,
My
sir.
voice is audible, ma'am. My
Yes,
voice is
sir.
audible.
Clear.
Okay,
It's
ma'am.
clear,
Thank
sir.
you, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, good afternoon to one and all for this event. So first of all, I introduce myself. Already, ma'am is gave introduction. Just I introduce myself. Myself, Dr. S. Jayachandran, assistant professor and B.Sc department, SRMIST Ramapuram-Campus. So actually, this is my 10th webinar for giving the all over India. So now this is the 10th webinar for students. Okay. So today's topic, actually the topics are suggested by DJ Vaishnav organizers. So today is artificial intelligence. Okay. So I think today's agenda is what is human intelligence and a brief history of artificial intelligence, and then what is artificial intelligence, and then what are the languages used in artificial intelligence, and branches of artificial intelligence, and artificial intelligence building blocks, and then what are the possible application in artificial intelligence, and then some latest artificial intelligence applications, and finally what is the future of artificial intelligence. So today I'm going to discuss these topics only. So first I'm going to discuss with what is human intelligence. Actually, everyone knows the thinking capacity for human beings. It's very important in our life. Okay, so first we are going to compare with the reasoning. Okay, so what are the blocks in the artificial intelligence? Is the first is a reasoning. Okay, so for example, the people are playing a chess with the robot actually. So the robot also can play with us. Okay, so the first ability, it's like a reasoning. Okay, so the human intelligence, first they started the reasoning and then observing the environment. Based on the environment, the users can move the section index. For example, chess. So chess also, the opponent's move will be identified, and then based on the environment, and then the other people are moving. So like that, the first the human intelligence comes under the reasoning. Okay, so reasoning is a very important part in the intelligence. Okay, so they compare with the artificial intelligence. The reasoning is very difficult task because they given only the certain task only you have to give. They having some limits, so to load the programs in the A. Okay, so first the comparison with in reasoning. Okay, so next we are going to compare with perceiving. Okay, actually the perceiving is the mental activities. They are going to do some practical approach in the recent days. Okay, so that's we are going to compare with the artificial intelligence also. They have some lack of information in the field of artificial intelligence. Okay, so that's a perceiving is also the human intelligence. It's abilities to do some work in the practical approach. Actually the human can only the feel that environment to do this task actually. So the practical, for example, biological and the chemistry, there is so many subjects there. You are going to perceiving the experiments, and then you are going to observe the experience. So this is the intelligence. It's based on the comes in the human intelligence. Okay, so you are going to compare with the artificial intelligence. It's a difficult task to do this perceiving. Okay, so this is the second comparison between the perceiving with human intelligence versus artificial intelligence. And then third thing, it's understanding of the language. Okay, see, actually in language processing, natural NLP, natural language processing is also tool is there for artificial intelligence. Okay, so whatever language you are going to give in the voice, they are going to convert in the particular region language. Okay, so the human intelligence, you are going to understand the languages. So based on the communication criteria, they have to understand the languages. So the human intelligence can observe the body language as well as verbs. So they identify parameters. Based on the parameters, the human can communicate. But in the artificial intelligence, they're having on some set of tools. Only the tools can do these conversions, and then the tools can be observed the languages. The tools can do conversions. So they based on these tools only, they do some activities in the understanding of the language. So this is also that comes under the human intelligence. Okay, so with the help of body language also we can observe the communication. So but in artificial intelligence it's difficult to do that task. So this is the next composition of abilities, like understanding of the languages. So this is how the comparison between the human intelligence and artificial intelligence. Next, that's a feeling. Okay, actually the robot can't feel anything. Okay, so they don't know how to feel also. Just they, because they're programmed. So they're programmed, and the task, the repetitive task. So they don't know how to feel also. Okay, so for example, we are going somewhere and then we are going to identify some accident. So that time we are going to feel something, but the robot can't do this type of intelligence. Okay, so this is how we are comparison with human intelligence and artificial intelligence. Okay, so this is the another task is feeling. Okay, so the artificial intelligence can't do this intelligence. Okay, next, what is a comparison between the human intelligence and artificial intelligence? Actually the human intelligence, it's thinking of a common sense, and then the creativity, and then the belief and the intuition, and then they're having some stimulation in the brain. Okay, according to the problems they are facing, and then they are taking the decision based on the problem. So they have some human intelligence. It's based on the creativity and the cognitive and the innovative style they are going to think. Human intelligence. Okay, But compared to the artificial intelligence, they only they stimulate the human behavior, okay, and then cognitive process. So, okay, it's not a exact human thinking and the human capacity, the brain working. They won't compare with exact human brain. They're just going to simulate the human behavior and then a cognitive process. Okay, so they won't think creativity and all. The already whatever the program is loaded into the model of the behavior in artificial intelligence, they do that work only. So the common sense, the judgment decisions, and the creativity and then belief, they won't come to the artificial intelligence. Okay, the artificial intelligence already they have to load it some programs, and then based on that program they can do the activity, the human activity. For example, the artificial leg and artificial arm and artificial nose, artificial ear. You are going to make a model, and then they have some basic capacity to do that work. For example, now they are using a artificial limb or artificial ear. Okay, so they have to put it in the particular place, and then they have to simulate the behavior. Okay, so in robot they are using the manufacturing sector, and then healthcare they are using the operation purpose. They are using robot. So they have several sectors they are using the artificial intelligence. They are only to simulate the human behavior, and then the cognitive process. They don't do any common sense. They don't do any creativity and all. Just whatever the user, the programmer developed the stimulate the human behavior and the cognitive process. The first comparison, the human intelligence and the artificial intelligence. Okay, next you are going to demonstrate the intelligence by communicating the effectively. Okay, so based on the communication, the work they are doing our people. Okay, so the artificial intelligence, they capture the and then pursue the human expertise. Okay, they're having some environment issue, they're having some barriers in the communication, they can't understand the body language. So this is the major comparison between the human intelligence and the artificial intelligence. Okay, and then next comparison, it should be a reasoning and critical thinking. Okay, so this is the one more advantage in the human intelligence. But still now that artificial intelligence, they can't do any this type of thinking skills and reasoning skill. They don't do anything. Okay, so they just do the ability to comprehend the large amount of data quickly. They only the response, the based on the response. For example, we are going to calculate some arithmetic operations. Okay, so they're doing certain time. They take some time to do this calculation. But in artificial intelligence, the fast response, they based on the operations or based on the task, whatever may be, that should be in the ability to comprehend the large amounts of data quickly. So this is the major comparison only I described here. So first the intuition, and then we are going to demonstrate between the communicating effectively and then reasoning and critical thinking. So this is the comparison between human intelligence and artificial intelligence. So first, what is artificial intelligence? Actually, everyone word heard that artificial intelligence. Okay, because now the IT trend and all over the world going to this term artificial intelligence. Okay, but some of the IT sectors and other sectors only they're doing the activity work and preparing the model. Okay, it's not exactly doing any creativity based project. They won't do anything. Okay, so in artificial intelligence, it exhibits by machines or software with the help of programming. Okay, so in academic field, you are going to create a computers and computer softwares or programs that are capable of intelligent behavior. Okay, so we are going to use in the robot and then robotics, and then manufacturing companies they're using robotics sectors. So the artificial intelligence, they do the repetitive task and then they do some activity based sectors. Okay, in education also we are using the artificial intelligence. For example, the web designing, artificial intelligence tool they are using. So the basically the artificial intelligence, it should be do some repetitive task in the particular environment, and then observing with the help of sensors and then do some activities. So this is how the what is a artificial intelligence. Okay, so the machines can do some activities. Our machines can do some other environmental observation. The machine can do play with the people. The machine can do some other work. So this is the interaction between a human and machine. Okay, so the machines can do extra efficient work like a calculation, or you are having activity based learning. So whatever the based on the speed or the execution, the artificial intelligence it comes to market. So that is why we are always we are using this term artificial intelligence. It's a vast field, but inside the artificial intelligence having some set of branches. So we are going to see in the next slide. So they're having some branches. In the branches, we are split it out to the topic like deep learning, machine learning, and then robotics. So they have classified the branches. Okay. So this is what what is intelligence, artificial intelligence. Okay. Next, what is the brief history of the artificial intelligence? Okay, so in 1950, that first started, that published in a paper in journal. In 1955, only the John McCarthy the coined the term artificial intelligence. So John McCarthy, the scientist, only the coined the term in artificial intelligence. And 1974, the again they do some activities based computers becomes faster and affordable. In 1980, actually the year of artificial intelligence, they do some models and then they started to human task, repetitive task is doing by the 1980s. And 2000, that's a landmark of artificial intelligence, the establishment achievement achieved. Okay, so this is the year wise they are achieved. Actually 1950 they started, 1955 McCarthy, John McCarthy, that used to coin the term artificial intelligence, and 1974 the computers become faster and affordable, and 1980 the year of artificial intelligence. In 2000 the landmark of artificial intelligence establishment achieved. So this is the history of artificial intelligence. And what is the languages they are used in the artificial intelligence? Okay, actually the researchers and then the scientists they are started to use first language Lisp. Okay, the Lisp, and then the Prolog. This is the two languages majorly used in the artificial intelligence. Okay, so these two languages, it's a specialized programming languages for artificial intelligence. Now the most are using a Python. Now they started to use Python, and then Python they are developing the applications, and then they react with some other applications. So Python is also nowadays the most used by the artificial intelligence topics. Okay, so the languages, the Lisp and Prolog. So what is Lisp? In the sense it's expression oriented languages, because the artificial intelligence it's going to touch the some procedures or some what I have to say, there's some concepts wise, and then some observation wise they do some syntax and semantics. Okay, so actually Lisp is an expression oriented languages. Okay, so they're having some expressions and statements. So, okay, the McCarthy, the 1958, they introduced the two types of syntax. One is a symbolic expressions, another one is a meta expressions. Okay, so initially these languages is used by the researchers yes expressions only. So because the symbolic they are going to communicate the object, and then they're responding based on this expression. So this is the first languages used in the artificial intelligence, Lisp. Okay, so say they're used by the expression oriented language. It's not a procedure or it's not a objected. So Lisp is an expression oriented languages. Okay, so there is a some differences in the statements. The expressions we use S expression, symbolic expression, and then M expressions. It should be a meta expression. Okay. Next, another languages used in the artificial intelligence. It's a Prolog. Okay, so this is also one of the general purpose programming languages. It's associated with artificial intelligence and then computational linguistics. Actually, this is a first order and formal logic. Actually, it is deferred and exposed in the terms of relations and represent as a fact and rules. Actually, there's a prologue. It's compared to the assembly languages, same like as assembly languages, but we are going to declarative and expert in terms of relations, and then represent as a fact and rules. So this is the another languages used in the artificial intelligence. So prologue. There's the two languages initially we used, Lisp and Prolog, but now the most of the researchers are used Python. The Python is also they developed in some application with the help of AI. Okay. Next, another it's a topic is a branches of artificial intelligence. Actually, artificial intelligence it's only the term, the key term. So in the key term, we are going to split out the branches. Actually, the mainly the 6 branches is there in the artificial intelligence. The first one is a machine learning. Actually, the previous session and all we know that you know that machine learning, what is deep learning, what is neural network. So these are the branches comes under the artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is a broad term they are using in the world. Okay. So inside that artificial intelligence, we are going to split out the branches. The first one is a machine learning. So with the help of repetitive task, or with the help of the researchers can do some cognitive approach, or there's some intuition approach. They do some human behavior also. They created some model. Okay, so with the help of this language, this concept machine learning. So machine learning, actually the most sectors are used in the manufacturing as well as the health care actually. So they used for x-rays, and then they used for moving the objects from one source to another. So this is the concepts comes in the machine learning. Next, neural network. Actually, this is the core of the artificial intelligence. Okay, so this is the artificial neural network. The neural network, based on these neural networks, they are going to perform some connection between the neurons and nephrons, and then you are going to identify the path, and then you are going to identify the root node, and you are going to do some pattern to find the patterns, and then you are going to explore the pattern with the help of these neural networks. Okay, so this is the comes under the branch of another branch of the artificial intelligence. Okay. Next, robotics. I think everyone knows the robotics because the robotics also is comes under the branch of artificial intelligence. So robotics can do the walking, and then they are helping the assistant, and then for providing some from some food. The hotels also they're using some robotics sectors, and then mostly manufacturing is also they are doing with the safety purpose. They are doing some work with the help of robotics. So the human can't do some activity in the real time. So that time we introduced the robotics for healthcare as well as manufacturing sectors. So space exploration, for example, robotics is the first real-time example. It's a space exploration. Actually, the scientists are introduced the robotics initially, that the space exploration. Actually, the human can't do take a photograph. With the help of these robotics can do some activities. And then the mining in the sea, actually they are doing some research in the under the sea. So that time they use the robotics. So this is the real-time applications used by the robotics. Next, speech recognitions. Actually, this is a real-time application also, because for Google, we are using Google Talk, or they're using speech recognition. They're converting the text to the speech to text, and then they identify the languages and what languages the user speaking. So the speech recognition also comes under the branches of artificial intelligence, because they used some activity, not activity, they used some sense of language tones, the different tones they were using, because everyone having different tones in English or Tamil or whatever regional languages. They go into identify the recognizing the font or recognizing the text based on this artificial intelligence branch, so speech recognition. So mostly they used in the singing competitions, and then they're using in the real-time applications, identifying the what type of languages. That time they use these tools actually. So this is also this comes under the branches of artificial intelligence. Okay. Next, cognitive computing. Actually, this is also in the real times example for IT sectors. Actually, the servers they're using the some task, and then the cloud computing, and then in the cloud you are going to upload some informations, and then based on these computing, actually computing, cognitive computing is execution power, the execution speed, and then they identifying the process speed. So they do the task in the efficient way. You use the cognitive computing. Okay, so this is also comes under the branches of artificial intelligence. Another important word, that's a big data. Okay, so this is the term everyone they're using. Nowadays, researchers also focusing on the big data. What is a big data? Why the word came in the sense? First, initially the data are only we are getting the numeric and text data. I think the 15 years before, only the two categories of the data, we are going to get the data like a voice, not a voice, text and numerals. Okay, so after the 50 comes in the market, they are using voice. Actually, initially the computer can interact with the character user interface initially, so only you are going to communicate with the text. So later they communicated with the GUI, that's a graphical user interface. So object you are going to click and then you are going to use some activities. Next you are going to voice user interface, VUI. Okay, so with the help of voice you are going to communicate with the computers. Okay, now they touch phone, then smartphones, everything. Why the word big data comes in the sense that day by day the lot of videos and images are generated in the social media. Okay, so data volume is a huge size. Okay, so according to our Indian population, they are having a huge data they're generating, because now the online, the COVID time, the online data, the videos they're generating, the day by day they are uploading the videos, and then day by day they're posting the images. So they're having a huge number of data. Actually the servers also can't classify the data before. So that's why they're using the big data concept. They are going to merge the data with objects. Okay, so behind the big data they're having several mechanisms. Okay, so you can think, for example, one user in Facebook, they are uploading the day by day the events, taking a selfies and uploading in the images in Instagram. So there is so many social platforms. So there are so many social platforms are generating the data day by day. They're increasing the data size. Okay, so that's comes the big data. So in the world itself, the evolving the data generating a huge the volume in the sector. So that's a time the big data that came. So the big data, with the help of artificial intelligence, they are classifying the data and then they are scrutinizing the data, whether the data is violating any rules. So they are having some mechanism to check whether the data is original or not. There are they're roaming the fake data also. So the big data, they use some algorithms and then they are finding out the proper patterns, and then they're generating the proper execution pattern. So they have different sectors they access the data. So now the real world, they are always play with the data. Okay, for example, Google search, and then e-commerce sites, whatever we are going, and then Google Maps. So whatever may be, they're daily they're capturing the data. Actually the Google is capturing the day by day data. The smartphones, every smartphones is accessed by the Google, and then Google absorbing their data, and the data used for future purpose, or they are helping for some other time. But sometimes the hacking also will be done in the with the help of the data. Okay, so the word the big data comes from the day by day the generating the data, the huge number of data that's coming to the world. So that is the term we are using, the big data. So these are the 6 branches in artificial intelligence. So first one is machine learning, next one is a neural network, and then robotics, and then speech recognition, and then cognitive computing, and then big data. So these are the 6 branches in the artificial intelligence. Next, the artificial intelligence building blocks. So, what are the building blocks in the artificial intelligence? Okay. So, first, artificial intelligence, it's comes the machine learning. Okay. So, in the machine learning, they are going to split the 2 category. One is a deep learning, another one is a predictive analytics. Now, they're having a several, whatever it is, the several designations like data analyst, data scientist, so the data programmer, the program analyst. So they have a predictive analyst. So they're having so many designations because they have splitted the technology in the different environment. Actually, this is the one of the artificial intelligence building blocks. So first in artificial intelligence, in the machine learning, it should be splitted into deep learning and then predictive analytics. Actually, these two concepts is based on the researcher they are focusing. Actually, they're having some algorithms and then they're predicting some weathers and then predicting the stock market and then they're predicting the e-commerce websites. So they do some machine learning algorithms and then they will help of algorithms they do these activities in the first block. So this is the first block in artificial intelligence that should be a machine learning. Next block it should be a NLP, that's a natural language processing. So this is also the very important concepts in artificial intelligence. So first they started translating the languages from one language to another language. Okay, so first they done with the help of some tools. So like the converting the English to Tamil, Tamil to English, or Tamil to Telugu, Tamil to Hindi. They only the converting the text to the regional text to the national text like that. So they're just translating the text. So first process is in building blocks in natural language processing is a translations. Okay, and then next block it should be a classification and clustering. Okay, so this is the another concepts in analyzing concepts. So that's the classification and then clustering that done by the natural language processing. And then third one is information extraction. Okay, so they're having in educational sites they're having, because now they're having so many websites giving the online courses and then they are doing IIT professors, IIT, NIT, they're having, they're delivering their lessons and then they're converting the languages based on the regional. Okay, so and then they're extracting the informations from source to destinations, like our modification in the languages or modified in the curriculum, whatever in the educational sector, the real example, the information extraction is be done by in the educational sector. So it's a natural language processing is another important building blocks in artificial intelligence. So this is the three majorly concepts in the natural language processing. One is a translation, another one is a classification and clustering, and the third one is information extraction. So this is the comes in the natural language processing. And then next artificial intelligence comes in the speech. Okay, so the first the language, natural language processing, only the translating and then the classification and clustering the information. Here the speech, the converting the speech to text and text to speech. Actually the media persons like reporters, they are using this mostly the tool, this use speech tool. Okay, so for example immediately you are going to send the voice communication or voice message to reporters, so just immediately they are speaking and they're converting the text and then text to speech. So this is also one of the building blocks in the artificial intelligence. So they're converting the speech to text and then text to speech. And then next building block in the artificial intelligence, expert systems. Okay, so this is also we are used in the researchers. So the researchers are going to find out the patterns and then they're going to extract the data and then they do some for a computing purpose they're using these expert systems. Okay, so this is also comes in the artificial intelligence building blocks. Next, another concepts in the artificial intelligence building blocks, it's a planning and scheduling and then optimization. So, okay, this is three most process we use in the artificial intelligence. So they are using the with the help of these three process, they can do some activities in the machine learning or natural language processing, speech and expert system. So they are going to identify the scheduling and then optimization of the process. So this is the comes under the building blocks in the artificial intelligence. And then next it should be a robotics. So robotics also previous slide I explained. So manufacturing sectors used these robotics mostly, and then healthcare, the hospitality, and then they used these robotics. So with the help of the robotics, some the scanning and then X-ray purpose. So the most difficult task with the without safety, they can do the work for robotics. So this is the another building blocks in the artificial intelligence. And finally, that vision, actually computer vision. So this is also one of the important concepts in the computer science field, the computer vision. Okay, actually initially the researchers are doing image processing. Actually they're doing with the images, they're doing classifying the images and then clustering the images, and then they're predicting the images and then converting the negative to positive. So they do some image, with the help of image they do some process, they do some extraction, they're finding out the patterns. So they do some research in the image process. Okay, the same here also, the computer visions also one of the concepts is comes in the artificial intelligence, that should be the image recognition and machine vision. Actually the mostly the security purpose they use the image recognition. Okay, so in Aadhaar card everyone given the thumb impression and then high sense eyes ball recognition. So they are all identifying and then they are capturing your data. So that data should be fetched in the machine and then they easily are going to find out the missing persons or any theft happen in the street, they are going to easily find out. So with the help of they are finding out the images and then they are going to recognize and what type of images, and then you are going to explore that images and then going to use for a future purpose. So these are the artificial intelligence building blocks. So machine learning and then natural language processing and then speech and then expert systems and then planning and scheduling and optimization and then robotics and then vision. So this is the most important in the artificial intelligence. Okay, so these are all the building blocks for the artificial intelligence. Next, the artificial intelligence, the possible applications. Okay, so application wise, we are going to split at the technologies. Okay, so first is NLP. I already said the NLP. They are using the most applications in mobile smartphones. Also having, though we are going to use it and feel that natural language processing. And then virtual personal assistant. Okay, this is the one of the applications nowadays. Chatbots, everyone aware of the chatbots, automatically they're replying. Actually they're finding out they are installing that chatbot in the particular application, and then they're communicating with the users. Okay, without the human intervention they are doing these activities. So virtual personal assistant. Okay, with the help of this application only they are going to communicate with the people. Next, visualization. Okay, so visualization, another applications in the artificial intelligence for identifying and then they are recognizing the data or recognizing the environment and observing the environment, and based on the environment they're reacting. So the visualization and then the analysis purpose, the predictive purpose, they're using to visualize the content or visualize the data based on these applications, the visualization. Okay, next, audio analytics. So this is also one of the possible applications of AI. So audio analytics, for example, the app, the social media app they're using, the Ghana, and then some other app is also there. They based on these tracks, and then they're having the memory size, and then you are going to analytics the audio. So what type of the MP3 or some other formats. So you're going to find out the exact format, and then you're going to analytics based on the audio. We are going to some performing some patterns. So that purpose we used audio analytics. And then next to the graph analytics, this is also the researchers more focused on the graph analytics and then data analytics also. So they are going to show in the stock market, the real-time example, the stock market, and then prediction purpose they're using these graph analytics. And then next, image analytics, the based on the graph and image you are going to directly you are going to fetch the object in the graph, and then you are going to show the graph image analytics in the application. So this is also one of the possible applications of AI. And then another important IoT. This is also the recent trends in artificial intelligence. So based on the sensors, they are going to communicate with the machines, and then the human can interact with the IoT, and then they do some activities. For example, in home automatically the door will open, and then automatically the AC will switch on. So based the automatic task you are going to perform with the help of IoT. So this is the Internet of Things. Okay. So this also comes in the real-time applications. So IoT is also used everywhere, like agriculture and then banking. Actually, mostly the secured purpose. They are using the IoT applications. So this also comes in the applications oriented. Comes in the with the help of artificial intelligence only. The IoT is also efficiently they are doing some task. So that's comes in the IoT, artificial intelligence. Next, robotics and then soft robotics. So this also the manufacturing sectors, real-time example. So the robotics do the repetitive task like packing the items, or they're doing making a model or making any object-wise things. So these all the works done by the robots, and then with the help of machine, and then they interact with the environments and then do some activities. So this is the robotics comes in the another applications. Next, machine learning. Already I said the previous slide also. So the model you are going to make, based on the model you are going to passing the environments and passing the data and passing the algorithm. Based on the algorithm they're doing some activities. So this is the another applications used in the real time. And then next to the social network analysis. Actually the social network analysis, the based on social network data. Okay. So for example, e-commerce sites, and then Google search. The Google search is also very important real-time applications. You are going to analyze the social network analysis, because the SEO, search engine optimization, the term they are using. The search engine optimization, they're having some algorithm, and then they are finding out the exact find out the exact pattern and how the users are accessing the sites. So these all the comes under the social network analysis. Okay. So next, machine translation. So this is around the globe. They are going to you are going to translate from one model to another model. So this also comes in the possible application of AI. And then simulation modeling. Okay, so everyone knows the simulation modeling in the sense the exact object you are going to enlarge with other sectors, and then they're making some models. Okay, for a machine or any related application, real-time applications also we are applicable in the healthcare. Okay, so these all the focusing field in the simulation modeling. Okay. And finally it should be a deep learning. Okay, so compared to the machine learning and deep learning, the only the process, the way of process and the way of extraction, only the difference. Okay, they're having using a different algorithms in the both the topics, actually machine learning and deep learning. Okay, so in machine learning they are slightly they are going to recognize, and then they're splitting the data, and then they have started to perform the operation. But in deep learning they are going to evaluated, and then they're going to extinguish between the source and destination, and then do search research in the deep, and then performing some action. So this is the main difference in the machine learning and then deep learning. Okay, so some of the applications is generated by the machine learning, and then some of the applications is generated by the deep learning. So this is the possible application of artificial intelligence. Okay, so these are the applications are possible in artificial intelligence. Next, what are the some latest artificial intelligence applications? Okay, so previously we just know the possible, and then now they going to categorize the some latest AI applications. Okay, so before we are going to categorize the application, first we are going to identify the general term we are going to categorize. Okay, so in that experts, the researchers, they are going to three different categories the latest AI application. First one is the artificial narrow intelligence. Okay, so that it should be in the only for specific task. The only that it will in the artificial intelligence should be work. Okay, next, artificial general intelligence. So another category. So in this category, it's a general purpose machine they are going to use for the real time, and then that intelligence should be in the real time scenario. So there comes in the general intelligence. So the again the third category, it should be artificial super intelligence. Okay, so this is another category. So these are the three major categories you are going to use in the latest AI application. So this is first I am going to explain each one application. So already we discussed the virtual assistant. Okay. So the virtual assistants already I said for Google Assistant, and then Siri in Apple phone and all, everyone knows the Siri. So Alexa, the most popular AI based virtual assistant. Okay. So you are going to develop your communication. You are going to communicate with this app. Okay. So Siri, Google Assistant. So whatever expression or not expression, text or communication purpose, they are using these virtual servants. Okay. So this is the some latest artificial intelligence application. Okay. Nowadays the smartphones are also used these virtual assistants. Okay. So with the without the human interventions, or some communication will be done with the users. So this is the first application in the artificial intelligence, use virtual assistants. Next, another field, it's a digital marketing. Okay, so this is also they used the word digital marketing. Initially, the marketing is done by the people with the help of going the mobile phones and with the help of the contact numbers, and then they're going to communicate. Okay, so now they're using the word digital marketing. Okay, so now this is also one of the field, is a growing field with the help of artificial intelligence. Why means the based on the data and then collecting the data, and then based on the data the company is going to take the decisions effectively. How the connections between the data and the decisions means the people interest. For example, the digital marketing example for e-commerce. Okay, Flipkart, Amazon, the both the applications, you know everything. Okay, so they are marketing the products. Okay, for example, the big billion days over the last week. So they are focusing on the money oriented and then product oriented, and then they having a focusing on the futures of the product. So they're doing some business. Okay, the based on the users interest they are focusing more business. Okay, so they're based on the scenario. Now everyone is interested in buying the smartphone. Okay, so they are searching the smartphones, and then what are the models, what are the futures. So now everything it comes in the hand. So this is the very evolution of the modern business operator. Okay, so based on this digital marketing the business can grow more. So and then they are focusing on more in the digitalized products. Okay, not only the e-commerce sites, they are having so many marketing sites, and then so many applications are there in the product and the product and the showcase to the users. So this is the another latest application in the digital marketing. So they have to finding the customers and people based off demographics, and then interest and other aspects we are going to take the decision. So this is the another important latest application in the AI. So digital marketing. And then next to the online searches. Okay, so this also you can feel actually. For example, you are searching some other product, and then automatically it shows to all the pages. Whenever you are going to log in the Google, they are showing you are having this interest. And then advertisements also, the mostly these online searches latest applications used for advertisement purpose. Okay, so once you are searched in the Google, automatically it's going to optimized, and then you are going to revolution, and then based on the interest, and then they're focusing on the social medias. Okay, in Instagram and then Facebook and then LinkedIn, they're having so many platforms, social platforms are there. So whatever you are going to searching, just they're splitting out the you are searching data to the social platforms. In the social platforms you are going to see the advertisement based on the searches, and then you see the lot of advertisement. So this is the real time applications in the online searches. So this is also some latest artificial intelligence application. So this is the done by the search engine optimization. Actually this is also one of the revolutions, the artificial intelligence through the algorithm rank brain. That's the Google algorithm. So use rank brain. So based on these, you are going to find out the user's interest, and then based on the user interest, they are displaying the advertisement. So this is comes under the another latest application in artificial intelligence. And then next, that should be the content creation. Okay, so this is important for both the media persons and then researchers also, and then book writing and then the e-content preparation. So with the help of these tool and applications, you are going to find out the best websites, and then you are getting the video content, and then we are going to deliver the some e-content informations. So these are the works as done by the tool with the help of artificial intelligence tool. So this is the content creation, another important latest application in the AI. So the content creation. So this is the lot of new information should be delivered with the help of these websites. So this is the another important application, the latest AI. Next, website designing. Actually, this is also one of the artificial intelligence play a major role in the website designing also. So why? Because actually the initially the graphic designer and website designer, website developer, they're having so many persons doing creating the website designing. Okay, now the artificial intelligence to find out the repetitive task as done by the website designers, and then they're finding out the pattern, and then based on these the artificial intelligence tool can do some activities. Okay, so this is also done in the artificial intelligence. So actually it's a greatly enhance the websites and make it look highly professional in little time period of smaller cost. So if you have to spend more than 2 lakhs to design the website, but simply you are going to spend less than 1 lakh, you are going to use artificial intelligence application, and then you are going to design the website without the aid of the designers and programmers. Okay, so for example, real-time example, webex.com and wordpress.com, there's so many websites are there. Automatically they are creating with the help of predefined templates. Actually templates, everyone knows templates. So for example, website templates and then video templates, so topic templates, they're having a different templates. Okay, so based on these templates you are going to apply the templates, and then the website designing should be is looking highly professional. So that is also done by the artificial intelligence application. So this is the another important aspects in the artificial intelligence system in the website designing. Okay, next another core concept is the cyber security. Okay, so this is the word term also everyone hear, that the cyber security. So this is also most important. Why nowadays they're focusing this term cyber security, and then they police department and then CBI department, they're having security issues. So now actually so many virus attacks and then spyware and malware, so everything is roaming in the internet, I think. So the internet they are focusing, and then hacking purpose they are doing some illegal activities done, so that you are going to find out the secured transactions or secured environment. So that security, cyber security, they used artificial intelligence. It can also protect the password and the detect authenticity. Okay, so this is also important features is done in the artificial intelligence. For example, real time example is Gmail. Actually initially the Gmail, the only inbox will be there. Now the Gmail inbox, it should be splitted. One is promotion, another one is updates, another one is like that they're splitting. So the spam mails or malware files or spyware file, though they are going to split the files. Okay, so this is the one of the real time applications in the cyber security. And then for example in banking, actually initially the bankings used passwords, the text password and the numeric password. Now they are performing OTP. Based on the OTP they authenticate the users. And then now in ATMs, initially they are using only the numbers. Now they are using the finger sensors and then eyeball sensing. So they are using some latest features in the secured. So these all the done in the artificial intelligence. So cyber security is most of the people in the digital realm. Okay, so now digital data is generating day by day, the digital data is increasing. So that we need more secured platforms. Okay, so that's why the artificial intelligence actually mostly they're going to classify it, and then they're going to find out the illegal transformation from networks. So this is also done by the artificial intelligence. So another important aspects in the cyber security also. Now that artificial intelligence in the 2020, the global artificial market is expected to reach a revenue of dollar 118.6 million by 2025. Why I am showing this data in the sense the latest newsletters in artificial intelligence actually past 10 years before that much market is not done in the artificial intelligence. Now only the market is focusing more in the AI, and the revenue will be the more increasing more by more. So this is the newsletter information I got it. So the global AI market is expected to reach the revenue uh, around 118.6 billion by 2025. So this is the future prediction in the artificial intelligence. Next, and then artificial intelligence in 2020, the AI usage actually by 270 percentage in the last 4 years. Okay, the usage of the applications, because now in India they're having a huge number of people having smartphones. Okay, so in the smartphones they are accessing the Google Maps and then Google Drive and then some other applications they are running. So they, without knowing the concepts of AI or any advanced concept, but they are so focusing on the using the internet. Okay, so in the last 4 years, the usage of artificial intelligence is 270 percentage as compared to the last 4 years. And then, what is the future of artificial intelligence? Actually, everyone, it's unknown, predictable. Okay, the future of AI is really unknown. Okay, no one can predict the exact the human, whatever the human thing, the intelligence, the artificial also do. It is also impossible. Okay, so one more disadvantages in future, that's most of the jobs will done by the robots. That should be the within 30 years. Okay, so one of the professors said that whatever the human doing the jobs like designing and programmers or teaching, whatever field, not only in the IT sector, whatever field, the different field having different designation. So they're having some jobs. They all the replaced by the robots within 30 years. So this is the one major disadvantages in future. And then human extincts and immortal. So and then the another important the super intelligence, so that solve every problem we can imagine. Okay, so whatever problem, the day by day they are going to fetch in the data in the machine and then they are going to solve the problem. So this is going to happen in the future. So this is the future of artificial intelligence. Okay, next I'm going to show one video. You can just look at the video, just the example for future AI. Okay. Actually, this is the. My voice is audible, ma'am. Actually, this is the example of Siri and then some other robotic communication with human. So that is the video shows. Okay. So thank you. If you have any queries, put it in chat box. I will reply.
Sir, there is no question from the participants, sir.
Okay,
So
ma'am.
thank
Okay.
you so much for your informative session, sir. Because you said,
Thank you,
I
ma'am.
think this session is helpful to research scholars, sir. Actually, it's very
Okay.
very
Okay,
nice.
ma'am.
You
Thank you,
said
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
uh, so many real-time applications
Okay,
about
ma'am.
robotics used in hospital field. So many things we learned, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Archana, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Now I call upon Mr. Jagdishan, sir, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Archana ma'am. Good evening, one and all. First of all, I would like to thank the Department of Computer Applications, B.Sc, for giving this opportunity. At this juncture, I extend my gratitude to our resource person, Dr. S. Jayachandran, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Applications, SRMIST, Ramapuram-Campus, Chennai, to take out the time from his busy schedule to grace this event. Thank you for inspiring and encouraging our students with your knowledge and experience on artificial intelligence in this special day, sir. Really, it was an informative session. Thank you so much, sir. A special thanks to our respected secretary, Sri Ashok Kumar Mundraji, and our beloved principal, Dr. S. Santosh Babu, sir, for encouraging us to conduct this 50 days webinar marathon series. Very special thanks to our beloved advisor and head, Dr. T. Velmurugan, sir, for his tremendous support and guidance throughout this program. I also thank the organizing committee members who made this program a grand success. Last but not least, I thank all the participants for their active participation. Once again, I thank you all. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for maintaining the
Thank you,
broad.
ma'am.
Thank you
Thank you,
so
ma'am.
much,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you, ma'am.